and you need to stick with that, because if you were to let that go, you may not get another opportunity like this. Hello, Pisces. Okay. A whole bunch of cards just fell out. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your January soul session. I am Princess India. If you were new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and what's not, or whatever. If you are not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings, in which this is just going to keep happening, isn't it? In which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter in a given month for the sole purpose of giving you guidance and advice and clarity on how to deal with said energies. This is going to be a tad bit different because it is January. It is a start of a new year, and it's a lot of information that I want to share with you guys. For that reason, I did a survey during the live stream that I did for the 100K giveaway. And everyone agreed that they wanted 2021 annual readings. So what I did was I went ahead and I'm making all of the extendeds, the 2021 overview. It's not anything where, it's like negative stuff or like, foretelling horrible things happening in your life. It's more or less a guideline. And I suggest that everyone write down the cards that come out in that, but that's a side note. We're also revisiting the collective reading that I did in December for all 12 signs. And I have you guys card from that reading here of what was imperative for you all to let go. I'm looking at the fact that these cards just came out. I'm gonna go with it. Let's see what we have here. Let's see if we can make this a good old 6-card spread. So these 6 cards that came out while I was shuffling, this is fascinating. We have the Magician in the reverse. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the Hermit. We have the 2 of Wands in the reverse. We have Death in the reverse. And we have this is a different deck. What is this? The 10 of Cups in the reverse. It's an interesting 10 of Cups. So this is a lot going on, Pisces. What's at the bottom of you guys' deck is the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. This is a lot going on. Okay, so wow, all right. I don't even know where to start. If I were to just say overall, Pisces, to just encapsulate all of this, this is an energy that is screaming, if you will, of stuckness, of being stuck in the past. It's a very disgruntled energy. However, if we were to just speak to your past energy first and foremost, something that I said to Capricorn as well as to Aquarius comes up for you all as well. With this 2 of Wands in the reverse here, we're talking about being chained to your past, right? There's an opportunity for my Pisceans to move forward, right? But the question becomes, why? Why can this Pisces person not move forward? With the Magician in the reverse, we're speaking to the 4 tools of creation, something that has come up and I'm pretty sure will continue to come up in all of the readings because it aligns with what 2021 is all about, what the lesson for the collective is this year, or what the work for the collective is this year. And when we're talking about the Magician or the 4 tools of creation, we're talking about your mind, we're talking about your emotions, we're talking about your will, and we're talking about your physical body. These 4 tools are also the 4 elements that are in tarot. Now, when we talk about why we find ourselves being stuck in the past or why we ever have trouble moving forward, it relates back to these 4 tools. Right? So this means either one or all of these tools, proverbially speaking, or energy bodies, we could look at them as the 4 energy bodies of all humans, or auric fields, however you want to look at it. But if we look at this as 4 tools of manifestation or creation, or 4 energy bodies, there's one or all of them that are not on the same accord. In order for us to move forward in life, in order for us to heal, in order for us to successfully manifest, it requires that all 4 of these tools are on one accord, meaning that whatever your focus point is, whatever your goal is, whatever your desire is, your mind should be focused on that. Your emotion should be focused on that. Your will should be directed in the direction of that. And physically, you're going to take action towards that, right? So I say all of that to say, with this 2 of Wands being in you guys' energy that you're bringing in from 2020 or from December into January, it's more or less saying that you have these resources, you have these tools available to you, and you may be using one, you may be using some, right? I feel the main thing you guys aren't doing is, because this is a Wands card, I would say it's how your will is being directed. So this would more or less be saying to me that the Pisces that do resonate with this, it's not really being sure what you want, or not really sure what you want to go in the direction of. And this would be saying to me more often than not, it's kind of settling just for what's on offer. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, there could be a broad generalization of something you want. So say hypothetically, if we were to say relationships, right? So the broad generalization is, I want a partner. Like, I want a wife, I want a husband, I want a boyfriend, I want a girlfriend, right? And that's it. There's no clarification of, you know, personality type or anything like that. It's like, I just want a nice person that's gonna love me type of deal, right? So if a person comes into your life that wants a relationship or wants to be with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it's kind of taking that because it's on offer, because you're not really sure of what it is that you want. So you're not fully directing your will, if that's making sense. But I can't help but feel as if this is either one particular person, or it's kind of being stuck by situations, circumstances, or a relationship, something along those lines that has gone awry, if you will, and it's being disempowered to your past because of that, right? When we move into this present energy with this 3 of Swords and the Death card in the reverse, that's more or less exacerbating that energy, if you will. So now we're getting more context, right? So when we think about your will, so the direction you decide to go in or desire to go in, when we come to the 3 of Swords, and this came up for Aquarius as their underlying energy, we're talking about your mind attacking your heart. So in other words, with our 2 of the 4 tools of creation, we're talking about your mental space and your emotional space. So how you're thinking about things and perceiving things are affecting your emotional space, right? All of this contributes to why one is being held back. So it's a behavior you guys are engaging in, a mindset that you guys are engaging in. It could be a belief system, what have you, bitterness, unforgiveness. It could be a myriad of different things because you're all different people. So it's manifesting for you all in different ways. However, it's something that you're being offered an opportunity to die to, right? It's a habit that you guys have of engagement or thinking or what have you, that you have an opportunity to let go, but it's not letting it go. So this is something that is supposed to come to an end. It's well past its expiration date. However, the Pisces that resonate with this have yet to let this go. It's something that you're holding on to for dear life. Moving forward, you guys have an opportunity with this 10 of Cups in the reverse and the Hermit, right, to move forward out of this. But it would require, and I would even say, I could say it would require, but I think like with this whole transit that they have going on with Saturn, it's almost as if everyone's being backed into a corner and you're being forced to deal with yourself. you know? So it's kind of like the crutches that we have used up to this point to kind of distract us away from our issues and our problems. It's a lot of what 2020 did with the whole quarantine type of thing. A lot of people were forced to be left with themselves and face themselves and a lot of things that they use the external world to distract them from. And it's more or less when one is alone and solo dolo, it's coming to the realization that you actually are not happy, nor are you fulfilled. But I feel that this all goes back to this energy of, it's almost like a settling kind of energy, if you will. Then we have the High Priestess. We have the Three of Cups. And we have the Four of Cups. So here's the dealio. Underneath it all, I feel that there's a... Let me see, how can I make this not sound kooky? I would say Pisces, of course, Spirit is speaking to you all. It's a lot of intuitive hits that you guys are receiving. However, and this is going to sound weird, it's almost as if you guys are keeping secrets from yourself. And I know that that may sound strange, but you're in alignment, because I don't even know if it's possible for Pisces to not be in alignment, but that's neither here nor there. But it's like you guys are receiving data, you guys are receiving information in reference to this, like with this Magician in the reverse and the Two of Wands in the reverse. It's like something inside of you is telling you. I think probably everything it is like, because I always say with Pisces, all of my readings are just confirmation for stuff y'all already know. But that's neither here nor there. But it's almost as if everything that I just said up to this point is everything that Pisceans already know. Like you're already consciously aware of this, right? But it's almost as if I don't want to say like you're denying it, but it's just like, oh no, that can't be, what this is. Like, I'm not stuck. I'm using all of my powers and you know what I'm saying? I'm making the most of this situation, but I feel something inside of you is screaming out, right? But underneath it all, and that's again, coming into here. So I feel like what I'm saying is not something that you guys don't already know, or it's not something that you're not already aware of. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to what it is that you're doing, because I don't want to get too specific, because I know that this is different for each of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're on an innate level, you're aware of this. You're aware that you're holding yourself back, right? But it's almost trying to rationalize why holding yourself back isn't really holding yourself back, if that's making sense, right? But underneath all of this, how you guys are in January with this Three of Cups underneath here, you guys are desiring for peace and happiness. And what's tripping me out is how all of these cards are so dark. You know what I mean? Except for like this last row. And then looking at this Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, it's feeling almost emotionally bankrupt. And I can't say almost, it's literally. It's feeling emotionally bankrupt. It's unfulfilled. So the same with this Ten of Cups in the reverse. And if I were to just make it like straight line linear, because of this tie that you have to your past, whether it's a person, it's a job, it's a mindset, it's a belief system, because it's different for each person. Spirit has made it clear to you that you're doing this and that this is happening, whether it's you getting intuitive hits or it's people coming into your life and that are telling you the same exact thing that you already innately feel, and it's more or less now you're being given an opportunity to release this, but it's avoiding it. It's like dodging it, And I mean, for some of you looking at this Hermit up here too, like I said, in 2020, it's like this forced isolation. But I mean, there's some of you who could have used literally, if we were to say it, drinking, you know what I'm saying? Or any other method to distract from having to be left with oneself, right? The light that you guys are desiring, the truth that you guys are desiring, the peace and the happiness that you guys are desiring is only going to be found within yourself, being left alone with your own thoughts and allowing all of that to come to the forefront because it has a message for you. On a core level, you guys are desiring happiness, but the discord I'm seeing is that what you're wanting is ill-defined. You're accepting whatever it is that's on offer. And when what you're offered, which is this broad generalization, like I said, with the relationship hypothetical, you want a relationship, you get a person who wants one, but you never defined what type of person is ideal for you. So you end up in a relationship hypothetically, or a job, like whatever analogy you want to use, with a person that's not rightfully matched with you. But you don't want to release that thing, even though it's not congruent with you, because the main thing that you wanted was a job or a relationship, you know? So it's sticking it out with that when it's completely out of alignment with you. But it's not to say that all of you are at a job that you hate or that you're in a relationship that you hate. I feel the most important thing here, Pisces, is this framework. The framework is what's more important than the specifics of the situation. And that's why I'm speaking so generally. And the framework is the fact that this is related to some belief that you can't really have what you want, and you're lucky to have what it is that you get, right? So you need to be appreciative for what it is that is offered to you or given to you, and you need to stick with that, because if you were to let that go, you may not get another opportunity like this, right? So even though I'm not happy, or I feel stifled, or I'm not getting what it is that I want, right? I should just be lucky that I have this thing, is the mindset that I'm seeing behind all of this. So it doesn't matter what we're talking about specifically. It's the thing that's being unearthed here is the mindset. But it still goes back to, like with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, is that this is a person who's replicating the way that they feel about themselves on the inside in their external world, right? So that belief that says, I'm lucky to get whatever it is that I get, you know, it may just be breadcrumbs, but I could be getting nothing, right? Not everybody is going to resonate with this. So I'm not going to try to make it like where this can fit to everyone's situation, because this month is just one of those months where people who need these messages are going to be the ones that receive them. You know what I'm saying? But this is that mindset of, I'm just lucky to get these crumbs. I should not be expecting a whole loaf, because I never get a whole loaf. I feel asking for a whole loaf is too much, but these crumbs that I get, I should be lucky I'm getting them, because I could not, I could be getting absolutely nothing, right? So it's just settling for this hollow frame of what it is that you're desiring. But I feel all of this is coming up not to make you feel any type of way, but to show you how this mindset that's being lived out with people in your life, right? And how you innately know that you deserve better, but you avoid really facing yourself in your truth, because it's almost like this weird kind of it's like keeping a secret from yourself, is like what I was saying in the beginning, but it's this strange thing where it's almost like you know what's required of you. Like if I were to, like if I'm a Pisces person, I'm alone in my room and I know I have to face myself because I have no other distractions. It's like, I don't want that, because I already know the answer. Like, I know that if I were to sit alone with my own thoughts and face what I'm thinking and feeling inside myself, it's going to require me to die to my old way of thinking. It's going to require me to cut all of these people off. It's going to require me to change my behavior. It's going to require me to change my life. It's going to require me to change my outlook, right? And I have to leave all of this stuff behind, and I have to move into this new territory. I know that's what it's going to require, right? However, because I know, because I already had a dream, or spirit told me, or my pastor, preacher, teacher, rabbi told me, right? People have been telling me this for years. because I know this is the reason why I'm avoiding doing that, because I don't want to admit that I know I have to do that, if that makes sense. I hope and pray that that makes sense. But it's almost like keeping a secret from yourself, because you know that the answer to all of the problems in your life are that either you have to change, something about you has to change, or the people in your life have to change. And it's kind of tuning all of that out, pretending that's not happening, and just trying to believe like, no, let me just get what I want, like here. You know what I mean? So it's like, this person that you're with hypothetically is a narcissist. Narcissists don't change, right? But, and it's like, if you really want a happy relationship, you're going to have to divorce this person and move forward, heal yourself, and, you know, find a relationship with someone else. It's like knowing that, but saying, but I don't want to have to start dating again. So I'm just going to stay in this relationship, and I'm going to believe that there's some way that this person can change. And I'm just going to keep putting work in towards that, and completely, you know, forget the fact that they've been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder and there's no cure to that because it's inherent to a person's personality. I'm just going to pretend that none of that is true. And I'm just going to stay here and make the most of this situation, even though it's slowly killing me on the inside and I'm not 100% happy. That's the vibe that I'm seeing, you know? And I hope that that makes sense. That's the most sense that I can make out of it. But like I said, all of this is coming up not to make you feel a way about yourself, but it's saying, hey, this is what you're doing. You know, you thought nobody knew that you were doing this, but somebody is saying that you're doing it and you knew that you was doing it. So it's like, stop doing it, because there is no, it's only stagnancy that's here. It's like, this will keep you in a static state, and you won't be able to move forward and achieve this emotional fulfillment or financial achievement that you guys are truly desiring, because it's a refusal to die to an old way. Now, looking at you guys' card, Surrender to Defensiveness from December, it says, defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Now, where I feel like this defensiveness is coming in is if other people were to try to speak into your life, right? And a prime example of this is what actually happened under the comments in my Pisces video last month, I believe. It was someone who commented who was appalled at what I said in the reading, right? And that all was coming from a place of defensiveness. It's like the audacity of you, the gall, you know what I mean? And it's like all of that is coming from this place of putting up walls and, you know, stand back and I'm going to stand my ground and you don't know what you're talking about. It's like all of that. It's completely unnecessary. The truth of the matter is whenever we're defensive of, if a person says something and you cut the person off, right? Like you listen to a couple of words of what a person says and you cut them off and you start giving examples and why they shouldn't and who are you to say and all of these other things, that's coming from a place of defense. But the question is, what are you defending against? Why are you so upset in the first place? You know what I mean? Why are you so deterred and stirred up? Why are you so triggered by what's said? Why are you so triggered by what's happening, right? And it's coming from a place of, I don't want to necessarily say weakness. It's more of a low vibrational wounded place. And it's defending yourself against a person in a way that you didn't stand up for yourself in the past with another person. So you're triggered. And now you're standing for yourself, or in the case of that comment, of imaginary people, in a way that you never had the ability to stand up for yourself before. So it's not really a fight with the person who triggered you. Triggers have absolutely nothing to do with the person or people or statement that triggered you. It's a sign that there's a wound there, and that's what needs to be addressed. How I feel that this defensiveness is manifesting is much like that comment last month, is like trying to be a champion, savior, or voice for people, right? which seems really cool from the outside, you know, looking in. It's like, wow, they're a champion for people. But the truth behind that is that there are no people, they're only a voice of this person's own wounding that's not being dealt with, right? On the other side of that, it's another example would be if a person is in an unhealthy relationship, right? And they come to vent to, you know, mom, sister, brother, whatever, about this relationship. But the second that a friend or family member says like, wow, that's really unhealthy, like you shouldn't let that person do that to you, you should get out of that relationship. And it's like, oh, no. I mean, I bought that on myself. Like, you know, they're not really like that. They're not a bad person. I'm not saying that they're a bad person. It's like, you know, they had a bad day that day. It's like, again, that's another form of defense. So it's like defense can come in two different forms. They're two sides of one coin, but it's a protection of something that's toxic or something that's wounded, right? And it's becoming like a container, if you will, for that wound or that discord to continue. The person is speaking out, right? In the case of like the person who's in a bad relationship, that person is speaking out because on one level or another, they want help. They want to get out of the situation, right? But when a person offers the help for them to get out, that triggers fear, and then they recoil, and it's like, well, no, it's not as bad as I said it was, right? Because that's that whole keeping the secret from the self thing that I was saying, you know what I mean? And so the same, like I say with that comment, it's like we live in a trigger culture right now, but I feel, gosh, because I even have to say myself, I'm even guilty of it, of how I stammer through readings, and I'm when I'm doing readings, and it's because I'm being so conscious of the 3 years that I've been on YouTube and just the cray things that I see in my comments. And it's trying to be palatable for people's very overly sensitive, overly trigger happy emotions, you know? And it's difficult to, because it's like, oop, don't say that because somebody might be triggered. Oop, don't say that because someone's going to be offended, which is me putting myself in discord with myself because I know better. I don't placate people's triggers. I don't patty cake people's triggers because I'm fully aware that when a person is triggered, and I say this to you guys to be aware of this, both for yourself and with other people that you encounter, triggers have nothing to do with the person that triggered you. And us being in a society now where everyone is so trigger happy and cancel culture and all of this, and everybody wants to make sure that they're politically correct, is keeping people sick. It's keeping people stuck exactly where they are. Because triggers exist for the sole purpose of helping you to work through your wounds. It lets you know that there's a wound there. You hear someone say something or you watch something that triggers you. It's not, oh my gosh, cancel that person. Like, you're so mean. How could you say things like that? You're supposed to be a spiritual person. Like, how could you say stuff like that? It has nothing to do with the messenger. It's 1,000 people heard that same message, but you're the only one that's bothered. And that's more of the issue. Why is it that all of these people can hear the same thing, right? But only a couple of people are so bothered by it. And it takes one person who's bothered that becomes the pathway for all of the other people who were bothered. And it's never like the majority, it's just a minority, right? So it's not about the person. And I say that, you guys, literally, for celebrities, for all of the stuff that I'm sure you guys have seen within the last year, people who are saying things that people find to be triggering. It's not about the person. It's not about what they're saying, right? It's about how it affected you so much. And the reason why it affected you, the reason why it triggered you is because it's speaking to your wound that needs to be dealt with. If everyone became extremely politically correct in a Stepford Wives kind of life, which is where society is kind of headed at this point with all of this, if you never got triggered, you'd never know the wound was there, and you'd never have an opportunity to heal it. Triggers are there to help you heal the wound. But if no one ever triggers you, then there's just, wound sitting there fermenting and getting gangrene and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? So when it's talking about surrendering defensiveness for my Pisces people, It's defensiveness on that side of the Likert scale of being trigger happy and I'm going away from this person. How could you say that? And da, 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 being easily offended and appalled by things, but never taking the time to look within oneself to ask why that triggered me. On the other side, it's people who are defensive towards the states that they're in, of when people try to help or try to give you wisdom about a situation that you're in, it's suddenly changing position and, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not this. Oh, it's not that. And, oh, well, I really didn't mean it like that. And, you know, all of that keeps you in a static state, right? Like what this Four of Cups is saying, it keeps you static. It keeps you stuck, right? There is an inability to move forward because it's defending from things that are coming in that are uncomfortable, that are trying to help you. But the most important thing with this High Priestess here is coming to the realization that deep down inside, you already know. It's just not wanting to move forward or having a fear of moving forward or believing in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You can make something happen in the situation that you're in without doing what it is that you already know that you need to do. And that's the most important thing here, right? So if there's anyone who's a Pisces that resonates with this, and everybody won't, and that's okay. But if there's a Pisces person who resonates with this, the defensiveness that you're surrendering is the defensiveness against every single catalyst that comes into your life that is provoking you to change and do something different. And that's the defensiveness that needs to be released in order for you to move forward, if you would like to. But anywho, that has been your reading, Pisces. I'm going over to Vimeo, my website, YouTube members, and Patreon to do you guys extended, which is the 2021 overview, my friends, your soul scope. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. You know what I'm saying? But if not, I still love your face. And I'll see you guys sooner than later. Namshan, love your face.